We will learn how to set up the ChatGPT assistant on Springboot. We can view the defined instructions. It looks like a language translator. Let's try typing hi. You know, these days, the ChatGPT server is busy. Let's quickly press the reset button and try again. I'm typing and sending how are you. I'm typing and sending I'm boring. The explanation follows the instructions. I reset it using the reset button. It still answers well. Check the assistant on the ChatGPT. Remember the assistant ID. Press the test button. I'm typing how are you. Add and ran. We can see many requests and responses coming in. I check the response. Initial inquiry aims to retrieve thread information. This information will be used as a URL in the next question. It sequentially queries for information and utilizes the obtained information in the next inquiry. The reason for the repetition of the same thing is that it repeats when specific conditions are not met. If it is in process, you cannot receive messages. If it is completed, you can receive messages. It is important the message marked as completed. Can view the message that displays the results. View the input for the corresponding results. Need to verify whether the assigned role is assistant or user. Let's take a detailed. Assistant ID will be used when we make programs. Conversation and then look at the results. Can also review the provided instructions. Many requests and responses in a single query. It's possible to get the threaded with the initial request. The threaded will be utilized in the following request URL. After setting the role field to user input data into the content field and send it. Following this, I dispatch the assisted data and receive a string that initiates with run. You can check whether this query is in progress or completed. There are two types, and we do not request messages until the completion field appears. We repeat the process until we receive a completion as shown on the screen. In the field where role is assistant, we check the text of the content. To end the conversation, we call the specific URL, using a get method without any data. When implementing with Springboot, we only perform steps 1, 3, and 7 for the startup screen. When initializing, we will save the thread information in the session layer and use it, so we will only implement and handle the call parts 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. The source files used here are a total of 5 HTML, JS, CSS, controller, and common Java files. I plan to show the entire source slowly without giving separate explanations, so please refer to that. Also, I believe that the detailed comments I've written will be helpful in development. And I keep thinking that in the future, there might really be nothing left for people to do. I'm showing the source slowly, so if you have any questions, please pause the screen to look at it. I want to reiterate that the source is really simple. I plan to organize the source code and share it on GitHub soon, so please don't be disappointed that I'm only showing it on screen for now. I'm checking how the initial screen is invoked by the controller. To start a conversation in a new thread, I'm resetting the thread information stored in the session. I request the creation of a thread and proceed with the call by constructing a URL as the response value. I retrieve the assistant instruction data from ChatGPT, store it in model map, and show it on the screen. This is the part where I request a conversation and receive the result. Since many requests are made sequentially, I've handled exceptions using try-catch statements. I check if the previous thread information exists in the session data. After inserting the prompt, after obtaining the assistant information, I wait until the result shows as completed. I've handled exceptions for situations other than when it's marked as in progress. The wait time was determined at random. By quickly handling errors, I reduced unnecessary API calls. Only requests with a completed outcome can proceed beyond this point. To efficiently use only the necessary parts of the resulting data, I retrieve the values using the path method. This way allows us to obtain the results prompted by the prompt. Shall we change the instructions randomly to see if it really works well? We could try removing all the previous instructions and make it respond with yes master every time. Let's refresh the page on the website where we are applying the changes. We can see the changed instructions being retrieved. Despite the simplicity of the request, she thinks a lot about it. You are responding well as instructed. Indeed, although the thought process is lengthy, the answer will be the same. Let's refresh and see if it's working properly. We test the same actions again to confirm if they are working properly. It's a kind of functionality check. We revert the instructions back to their original state and check again to ensure they are functioning correctly. With the refresh, we can see that the instructions have been changed. I ask another question to check if there's a possibility of malfunction, remembering the previous instructions. As expected, the response is accurate. Thank you for watching the video.